Hopefully, this doesn't happen to you because it is happening to people. Let's roll.
Hi, I'm Sonia, and welcome to the Mature Crowd. Today, I'd like to share with you my experience of being laid off again in my 50s. So, I've gotten 3 layoff notices within the past few years.
Oh my
And the
God.
first time that it happened was in the year 2020. So, in 2020, when the pandemic was in full swing and we were all working from home, I was at a different company than the one that I'm at now. I'd been there for about 13 or 14 years. And during the time of the pandemic, we would have Zoom meetings, WebEx, Teams meetings all the time. I mean,
I remember that. I still have meetings, but they're not as often as they were during the pandemic. But man, I remember how worried I was that a layoff was coming, but I got extremely lucky.
all the time. Some of those meetings could have been an email.
Definitely.
So one day, I get this meeting invite. No big deal, because like I said, we have them all the time. When I log in, there are people popping on to the meeting. I see this lady named Nikki.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, Nikki is in HR. Why is she in our meeting?
Oh, when you see somebody in HR come to a meeting, not a good sign.
Are we getting laid off? So the meeting started, and what I was thinking, yep, that's what was happening.
Oh,
We were
man.
all being laid off. Our jobs would be moving to Germany, and we were told there'd be a 6-month transition period. We were encouraged to apply for positions within the company, also encouraged to apply for those jobs moving to Germany.
Sure, let's just pack up all our shit and go to Germany because they're hiring. I mean, maybe if you're single with no kids.
Now, moving abroad was not an option for me. My mom was getting older. I'm
Right.
an only child, and I needed to stay closer to home. Aging parents, we'll talk about that too at another video because it's a lot that goes with that too. And so, thankfully, after that 6-month period, I was offered another position within the company in a different department.
Nice.
So, that's my first layoff story. Now on to the second layoff story. So I started a new position and
getting
things
worse.
were going well. I had great teammates. I had a manager I liked. So things were great in the new position. A year had passed and then I get a meeting invite,
Oh,
which,
no.
okay, I get meeting invites all the time. This one had my manager's manager, my manager, and a lady whose name I didn't recognize.
I had one of those meetings actually last week, and he told me beforehand, I'm sending you a meeting invite, but don't worry, you're not in trouble and nothing's going to happen. I just want to touch base with you. I was like, whew, thank God, because I probably wouldn't have slept well the night before.
So, I accepted the invite. And it's like, who is this lady? Let me look her up. We'll call her Kate. And I thought to myself,
Oh, no.
no way, not again. But yes, again.
Ugh.
You see, Kate, her title was HR. So at the time of the meeting, I log on. So my job and a few others were moving to another country.
You got to stop accepting these meeting invites, honestly. It's just sad, but you know what? It's a part of life. It sucks. It really sucks. You always know when you got that feeling in your gut that something's not right. It's probably not going to be right, unfortunately.
There was going to be, this 6-month transition period. And I was encouraged to, look for roles within the company.
Time to change companies.
On this call was super nice because they knew I had just been through this, a year before.
Oh my God.
I remember asking Kate from HR, was this a company record? And she said, I think it is, Sonia, because I don't know of anybody else who has had 2 layoff notices a year apart.
That's sad.
So I hold that record there. So after my second layoff notice,
Definitely not a record you want to be proud of. That just, oh God, that's terrible.
this time after 14 years, I took it as a sign it was time for me to leave.
Yes.
And that's what I
definitely.
did. After 6 months, I left. And during that 6 months, I had a good time, because I got severance and I did some traveling, did some fun
Nice.
stuff. And then after a few months, I decided to apply for some jobs and I got a new job where I am now.
Sweet.
So now let's move on to the third layoff notice.
This isn't getting any better.
So I work from home, and a few months ago, I started my workday just like I usually do. I walk up to my home office, log in and get started, and then after about 30 minutes of working, I get a meeting invite. So the meeting invite is from a woman I don't recognize.
Another meeting invite. It's pretty sad when they have to do it all by email. Team meetings, Zoom meetings. They can't just say, can you come into the office? We need to have a talk with you. I know plenty of people, unfortunately, who've been laid off or fired when they were working from home, and they purposely waited until they were working from home to fire them. Now that is just fucked up.
Her name, but my manager's copied on it. No big deal because from time to time, people from other departments would reach out to ask questions about how we could help them and sometimes to collaborate. This meeting was set for 9:30 and at the time it was 8:30. So I accepted the meeting and went back to working. But, something just kept tugging at me to check the invite again because I just, accepted it quickly and went on about doing my thing.
Right.
So I opened it again and I noticed a short message in the body of the meeting invite, and it said, "Given the sensitive nature of the conversation, please make sure you're in a private place."
Oh, no.
What does that mean? So I
good.
looked up the person who sent the meeting invite. Her title was a little different. It didn't say HR, but I'm thinking, she's in HR. It's happening? Am I getting laid off again? So at the time I logged in, when the meeting started, the first person I see is my manager, and he is looking somber. We exchange hellos, and by that time, the other person had logged on to the call. He went ahead and he started the meeting by saying, "Hey, Sonia, I don't want to delay this, so let's just get started." He then picks up this paper and he starts reading from a script.
Why is it always scripted? The last couple of people I heard that lost their jobs said that they were reading from a script on the telephone and HR was on the line as well. Why you gotta read a script? Just be natural and do it naturally. Say, hey, look, you know what? I'm sorry that I have to do this, but, we're not going to be holding your position anymore. We decided to, erase your position, unfortunately. Something like that. Like, why do they have to read it from a script? I guess legally maybe they have to. I don't know. But it just really looks bad on a company, right? If you want to stay away from those Glassdoor bad reviews, don't read a script. Come on. I'm just saying. It's just unprofessional.
And it's saying, yep, my role would be eliminated.
Yep.
Same thing again. 6-month transition.
I only watched it halfway through, and I already knew that her position was probably eliminated. That's just another way of saying you lost your fucking job, I hate to say it, but chances are your position wasn't eliminated. They just needed to find a reason to get rid of you. Hopefully she was able to collect or something.
Transition period. So I'm always thankful that all my layoffs have not been immediate. There's been this transition period. I was encouraged to look for jobs within the company.
Always, right?
And he was reading some other things, and I started smiling. I think I maybe even chuckled a little bit. I looked at that lady from HR, and I think she was a little confused by my reaction.
Girl.
She was probably thinking, oh no, she's not taking it well. She's cracking up. We're going to have to get her counseling. But no, I was laughing because I was thinking this is really happening to me again.
That's a shame.
In such a short amount of time. It was a little shocking.
I'm not telling you guys what to do, but go over and check her channel out, guys. I'm gonna subscribe. Nobody put me up to this at all, but just go over and like the video and just help push her video. I really would appreciate it. Maybe leave her an inspiring comment or something. Maybe she can pursue YouTube as her career. Something that she can't get laid off from. So try and show some support, guys. I really would appreciate it. Do what you want to do, but just show some love. You know, I kind of feel bad.
But hey, things happen. So with this new layoff, I am approaching it like I did the others. I'm praying. I'm trying to be strategic about my next move. I'm being real with myself. I've
Gotta be.
looked around a bit, and the job market, it changes so fast.
It's sure. Yes, it does.
And it's not like it used to be, that's for sure. If I can give you some advice in your career, no matter where you are, is that
Don't accept meeting invites. That's what I'm gonna say.
no job is guaranteed.
Exactly.
And to always be learning to better yourself, to make yourself more marketable.
I've always said that before. Anybody can be replaced. Every position is replaceable. I heard somebody in the office say not too long ago that he would never lose his job because they have no idea what he does and how to do it. That's just a horrible attitude to have. Everybody's replaceable. I don't care if you're the CEO, top executive of your company, you're replaceable. Even if they don't know your job, they will figure it out. Trust me.
Any new skill that you can add is helpful.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying to figure out my next step, and I want to ask you,
YouTube.
if you or someone you know has been laid off before, I'd like to ask you to share your experience. Like, how did you get through it? What did you learn from it? What would you do different than you did before? Because I'd love to hear your story and any advice that you can give. You can drop it in the comments or you can email me. I'll leave my email below. I'm doing this because I need your support.
All right. What would you do if you were in her situation and you received all of these notices to be laid off, all these meeting invites? You know, how would you handle it? I mean, me personally, I probably would have left the company from the first layoff. That's usually a bad sign that, you know, you can possibly be laid off again within the company. You know, as soon as you hear that L word, laid off, you want to move on and find something else. At least that's just what I would do. I want you to let me know in the comments again how you would handle this. Would you stick with the company and just keep rolling with it, you know, and see if it pans out for you, see if it works out, or would you just eventually move on? Again, I would have moved on from the first layoff. I will catch you in the next one.